My husband took $200,000 to divorce me before his grandfather died, but he didn't know I was the real condition in the will. The night my husband asked for a divorce, I knew something was wrong before he even spoke. He wouldn't look at me. His hands kept tapping the table like he was waiting for a timer to run out. 3 years of marriage, and suddenly he felt like a stranger. Then he said we should end this, just like that. No fight, no reason. Just cold. I stared at him, waiting for an explanation. But instead, his phone lit up on the table. And I saw it. $200,000 transferred. Make sure it's done before midnight. My heart didn't shatter. It sank, slowly, quietly. I looked back at him and asked, so, that's my price. He didn't answer. He didn't deny it either. And that silence told me everything. His family had planned this. His grandfather was dying. And the will had one condition: he had to be married to someone they approved of. Or he'd lose everything. And me? I wasn't good enough. Wrong background. Wrong image. So they paid him to walk away from me before midnight. And he agreed. No hesitation. Like I meant nothing. And in that moment, I realized I wasn't losing him. I was finally seeing him. But what he didn't know was that I already knew the truth. Weeks earlier, his grandfather had called me after overhearing the plan. I thought he'd tell me to leave. But instead, he apologized. He said I was the only real thing. His grandson had earned the only one his family didn't deserve. Then he told me something I didn't understand at the time. Let them think they've already won. So I stayed quiet. I waited. And that night, when my husband pushed the divorce papers toward me, expecting me to break, I didn't. I signed instantly. No tears, no hesitation. Just a small smile that confused him more than anything. Because for the first time, I wasn't the one being fooled. Midnight passed. A few hours later, his grandfather died. The next day, we all sat in a silent room for the will reading. His family looked confident, like everything had gone exactly how they planned. My ex looked relaxed too, probably thinking that $200,000 was just the beginning. The lawyer started reading. Properties, investments, everything normal, everything expected. Then suddenly, he stopped, looked up, and said my name. The room froze. My ex turned toward me slowly, confusion turning into panic. The lawyer continued stating that a major portion of the inheritance was left to me, not the family, not my ex, me. You could feel the air shift. But then came the real twist. The final clause. Any heir who tried to manipulate or end my marriage for personal gain would lose their entire inheritance. And just like that, everything broke. Because the moment they paid him to divorce me, they disqualified themselves completely. The room exploded into chaos. His parents started shouting, blaming each other. Someone knocked over a chair, and my ex, he just sat there, frozen, realizing the truth. The $200,000 he took wasn't a win. It was the price of losing everything. Then they all looked at me, the woman they thought they could erase. I stood up slowly, met his eyes, and said, "You didn't lose me. You sold me." I paused, just long enough to let it hit him. Then I added softly, and the worst part, I would have stayed. For free. No one said a word after that, because there was nothing left to say. And just like that, I walked out not as the woman they tried to get rid of, but as the one who ended up with everything. Follow for more crazy stories.